Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and to another vlog. So I am currently at Jericho Beach and we decided to come out for an early morning paddleboard, which is just so nice. The weather at the minute and for the next week is going to be like so beautiful, and honestly it makes me so happy. Just thought we'd make the most of the sun. We came down, got Fino on the board actually for ages, because last time when we came a couple of weeks ago he was like really not sure about the board, but we managed to actually paddle out quite far with him, and then in the end he got bored and jumped off and swam all the way back to shore. But it's progress and it's really good. So yeah, that's how we're spending the morning. Honestly, like I just love being in this area so much. We are currently at Jericho Beach, which is like 5 minutes or so from where we live. We rented our boards from Windshore, which is at the sailing club. But yeah, it's such a nice thing to do in summer if you're in Vancouver, especially when the weather's like this. And obviously we're not really going anywhere at the minute. It's just such a nice way to like get out in the water and enjoy the sunshine, and the views of the mountains are just so nice. Oh, I have a visitor. Hello, is he gonna come and save me? Hi bubs. Also, today is our engagement anniversary, our ring-anniversary, if that's what you would call it. I can't believe it's been 2 years since we got engaged. We got engaged in Tofino. Matt proposed on Long Beach and it was just amazing. And it feels like so long ago on the one hand, but on the other hand it feels like 2 seconds ago. Yeah, I don't know if I've actually mentioned it on here, but wedding planning is going well, but we have actually postponed our wedding. We decided after everything that happened last year with losing my brother and also the pandemic and the uncertainty and everything, we were just like, let's just push it, let's postpone. So we are getting married in September 2022 now, which I don't think I've actually said on here. So yeah, to be honest, like I don't mind that decision. Pretty much like sorted everything, and I just thought it was like just kind of the most sensible thing to do, especially with like how things are. And like I want to make sure that we absolutely can have our wedding, have it exactly how we want to have it. So that's kind of why we made that decision. But yeah, we're gonna have a nice day together today. Matt's got the day off work. We do some stuff in the garden, play with Fino, and celebrate 2 years of being engaged. Yay. So we've just found a cool like plant yard just on the way to Home Depot, and it's full of plants, and they're so cheap and they're such good prices. So we are having a look around, trying to find some plants for the garden. Fino, this way. Fino is just nosying at everything. Come on, lovely. Picking up some stuff for the garden. This is really cool. Oh my god, this is actually crazy. We've got so many plants in the boot. We've got all these here. We just can't stop buying plants.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Fino has been so good, haven't you, bubs? He even had a puppuccino from Starbucks, which, dog owners, if you didn't know, is basically just like a little cup of whipped cream, and they do it for free, which is nice. So we got some coffees and Fino got a little puppuccino for being such a top dog today. He's honestly been so well behaved. He's quite used to Canadian Tire because I used to bring him here a lot when he was young, and he had a couple of pee incidents when he was younger, but obviously he's grown out of that. Oh my god, we literally got a jungle in the car for me. So yeah, we have been out for way longer than we expected to be, and I don't know if we're going to do a barbecue tonight because we were going to do that, but we have bought all sorts of lovely and big and bushy and beautiful plants, and some plant pots and accessories and coal and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, we're going to get home and unpack it all, and I'm really excited to see it all in the garden. I think it'll look nice. You tired, bubs? Good morning. It is another stunning day. So I'm just at the beach with Fino. He's just doing a bit of swimming. Such a top swimmer now. Come on, bubs. Ready? Good shake. Ready? Go. So proud of him. He's picked up swimming so fast. I know that it's in like golden retriever nature to swim because they were bred to go and fetch like waterfowl and ducks, but he didn't swim for a while. But now once he did it, he's just like doing it non-stop now, and he's been so good. A good boy. Well done, my top swimmer. Oh no, get your stick. Get your stick. You've not been a very good golden retriever. Retrieve. Retrieve, Vino. Good boy.
Hello.
One thing when you get a dog is you will never have the bed to yourself ever again. He'll literally just like lay across, in the night, and I have no covers and no space, but I put up with it because that's just what you do when you have a little dog, isn't it? Well, a big dog. Tired, whoops. Yeah. Here's Jasper. There you go.
Boop. Boop. No biting.
So I'm just sat out on the patio doing some work, and I thought, why not vlog out here instead of inside, because it's just so nice and sunny, and I'm just enjoying this weather so much. So I really hope that it stays, because we're heading up to Whistler in a couple of days. Hopefully that will be really nice and sunny, and we haven't been up there in a very long time. So I thought that I would share a few things related to having a puppy and having a dog for the first time, and share some of the things that I wish that I knew before we got Fino. Now, I was looking back actually the other day over his pictures and the last few months, and I just cannot believe how much he's grown and how much he's changed in literally like 3-4 months. So we got Fino in February, mid-February, and he is actually 6 months this week, which is mad. And I actually watched one of my vlogs from the very beginning when we got him, and I just can't believe how small he was. Like at the time we thought he was so big because he was a very big puppy. He was 8 kilos when we got him at 8 weeks, which is very large, but now when I look back I'm like, oh my god, he was absolutely tiny. And so that's kind of the first thing that I'll say is like they grow so fast. Obviously every breed is different, but Fino has just grown at an extraordinary rate. Like literally every week he was changing, and some weeks he would like get longer and get a bit skinny, and then the next week he would lean out, and then the next week his head would look too big for his body, and then he would lean out. So he kind of was like growing in phases. But yeah, I can't believe how big he is now. He is currently about 60 pounds, which is about 28 kilos or so. So yeah, he's done a lot of growing in this time since February. It's been amazing, and honestly he's like the best decision we've made, and he's just shaping out to just be such an amazing dog. And like I kind of wish that he was the size of when he was like 3-4 months, like, you know, when they're just like so extra cute and they're like floofy and they're tiny, but with his personality now. Because as much as I enjoyed the puppy phase, it's also a lot of work, and I don't think I quite realised like how much work it would be. Obviously we were completely prepared, we blocked out tons of time, we did tons of training with him, but I didn't realise how demanding a puppy would be. And like literally you have to watch them every second of every day, and so that's why actually having a crate is really good. And I've actually received a bit of a mixed response about having him in a crate on Instagram and on here, because a lot of people do think that crates are a bit cruel because you're basically like locking up your dog, but we've had a very good experience with Fino in his crate, and I personally see the benefits of having a crate. He doesn't sleep in his crate at night anymore. He did for the first 2 months maybe, and then one night we were like, let's just try him in the bedroom, and ever since then he's just stayed in the bedroom with us. However, we do still have his crate, and he does still go in his crate and in his area, and we make sure to keep putting him in there like once a day or so, once every other day, just so he's used to it. And to be honest, he really likes being in there. And so although a lot of people think that crates are cruel because, you know, you're locking up your dog, the flip side of that is that A dog's crate is their space, it's their area where they're unbothered, you know, it's nice, it's cozy, it's sheltered, it's safe. And so that's why a lot of dogs really do like their crate, because it's just kind of their little space where they can, you know, relax and chill, and it's their space basically. So one thing to keep in mind though, if you are crate training, is never ever use the crate as a punishment, which is really difficult when they're being like really naughty and they're getting on your nerves, and you just want to get them out of the way, and you want to put them in the crate, and you want to, you know, just put them in there to let them calm down. You still have to make sure that the crate is not a punishment. So the other day, you know, just had such a naughty day, and so I put him in there, and I was just like, oh, really frustrated with him, and I'm like, okay, good boy, Vino, good boy, good boy, and just like enforcing that it's good that he's going in his crate, but secretly I was just like, I just need you out the way because you're driving me mad. But yeah, I personally really like crates, and we've now opened it up because we got one with a divider, which I would really recommend actually. You can get crates with a divider. Oops, my battery died there. What was I saying? I was saying about crates. Oh yeah, so at the beginning when we first got Fino, we made his section quite small because we wanted enough space in there that he could basically lie out and turn around, but we didn't want too much space so that he could just go to the other side of the crate and do a wee or a poo. So we basically just been gradually increasing the size, and he's actually never had any accidents in his crate or in his crate area, because we've like got a baby gated area where the crate is, and he's actually been very good with that inside. So what else would I say that I wish I knew before we got him? In terms of training and treats, I personally recommend the softer treats for training, and we got him a lot of like harder treats at the beginning, like beef liver, and just ones that were a bit more chewy. And while he liked them, I found that while we were training on our training walks and walking, he would just stop and sit and chew it. So I would recommend more softer treats for like training walks, as I find that then they can just eat it on the go. That's just like a tiny little tip that we learned from experience. In terms of treats, you will go through a lot of treats at the beginning. We spent so much money on treats, so we try and get treats that are kind of as clean as possible. Same with his food. We feed Fino a raw diet, so fresh raw food, and also freeze-dried raw. Obviously it's completely personal preference what you feed your dog, but we find that he does really well on a raw diet. He is super healthy, his teeth are so healthy, his coat is beautiful. His coat is so soft and shiny, and it's just so nice, and I think a lot of that is down to his raw diet. But yeah, with treats I would suggest like chopping them up, because a lot of treats are actually quite big, so I would just chop them up into like 3-4 bits, so I'd have like teeny tiny versions so it's easy for him to eat. Also it meant that we went flying through treats because they are quite expensive, and you can spend a fortune at the beginning when you're getting all their accessories and their vets and their beds and food and all that kind of stuff. It's nice to kind of just like trim down costs where you can. So in terms of like collar and harness, when we researched before we got Fino, a lot of trainers and a lot of information that we read basically suggested not using a harness, and a lot of things that we read said that harnesses aren't good, especially the back clip harnesses, because you know you can't control your dog as well, and it was suggested that you use just a collar. Now we did that at the beginning, we just had Fino with a collar at the beginning, but Fino has always been very strong, he's always been very curious, and so basically whenever we'd see dogs or people he'd get so excited and he'd end up just like choking himself. So then we did a bit more research and we found that you can actually get front clip harnesses, which we didn't know, you know, having not had a dog before, but front clip harnesses we found are way better than the back clip ones. We actually have one now that has a front and a back clip, but with the front clip harness you can kind of direct them a little bit more and have a bit more control, which we found to be really good. Another thing I would say that we have noticed with Fino is that every now and then he will regress a little bit. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So every now and then, every few weeks, he'll have a day where he is a terror, like literally where he's just the biggest idiot, and it's like his sole aim is to annoy us and be naughty and test the boundaries basically. And I've spoken to a few other dog owners and they said that their dogs do the exact same thing, and so he had a day like that the other week, and we had a really nice maple tree. It was in this really big pot and it had leaves for the first time and it was really pretty, and I literally left him for like 5 minutes to go upstairs, and generally he's very good outside. He was asleep, he was chilled. I came back and he'd basically pulled the entire tree out of the plant pot and he'd also picked off every single leaf. And he did that in the space of 5 minutes. And sometimes he'll just do random things. And I think it is as well his hormones coming through. He's at the 6-month mark now. And so obviously, you know, he's growing, he's getting more testosterone, he's a bit of like an alpha dog. And so you can tell when he gets like boosts of just random hormones, because he just whizzes around like a crazy guy, and you can tell he just doesn't know what to do with all that energy. Yeah, sometimes he'll have days where he just doesn't want to listen, and you just think like, what is going on? Like, am I a bad parent? What have I done wrong? Why is he suddenly being naughty? And then I find the day after that he's back to normal and he's fine and he's good as gold again. So we found that there's a pattern with this, and he'll have a day where he's just really naughty, and then he'll kind of take 2 steps forwards after that, and he'll be really good and he'll learn new things. And so it is very normal to have that. It is frustrating at the beginning with puppies, especially because, you know, they're young and they're good at learning, but also they're good at ignoring you, and they're just curious, and they wee everywhere, and they don't have control over a lot of things. So it can be quite frustrating when, you know, you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. But I promise, just be patient. It is completely a game of patience having a puppy, and that's one big thing that I learned, is that like you have to be incredibly patient, and it's definitely improved my patience having Fino. Things like, you know, when I tell him a command, I'll only tell him once, and sometimes it might take him 30 seconds to do the action, especially if it's sitting down. Sometimes he just can't be bothered to lie down, but I'll tell him once, and then I basically will just wait for him to do it. Eventually he'll do it, and then he'll get his treat. So I think that is one important tip actually with commands. Try not to repeat them, just say them once. They absolutely hear you. Sometimes it's selective hearing, sometimes they can't be bothered, sometimes they're just sort of testing the boundary to see if they can ignore you. But I find just like sticking to my guns and staying patient and just basically not moving until he does the action that I've asked him to do actually really works. But you know, generally he is really, really good. He listens to commands, he is very well behaved, he's just a very, very nice natured dog, and so we're really, really proud of his progress. Definitely just got to be patient. And finally, another thing that I wish I knew at the beginning, and if you've just got a puppy, you may have learned this already, is how much puppies bite. Puppy teeth are no joke. They are literally razor sharp. They are absolutely teeny tiny. Like, we've got a whole collection of Fino's teeth that we found, or that we've like pulled out, or that have fallen out, and his puppy teeth are tiny, but they are just so sharp. So there are a lot of clothes that now have holes in, that he just like chewed holes in, or he'd like pull our sleeve, or he'd pull our leg. Prepare to have, you know, little bite marks on your hands. That's something that we had for at least the first month, but I promise that period ends. Like, we would correct his behavior, give him toys instead, you know, tell him off for biting too hard, and eventually he learned what was too hard, what was acceptable, what was play, and ultimately that they have to bite you in order to work out the power of their bite and the strength of their bite. And when they're playing with other puppies or other dogs or their siblings, when they yelp, that's an indicator that it's too hard. And so you can kind of replicate that when you're playing with them. But yeah, I promise the biting period does end. Fino does bite now a little bit, but it's more of like an affectionate bite. He does it when he's excited, and it's not hard whatsoever, like really, really not hard. And he's got his big boy teeth now, and they are far less sharp, which I'm so happy about. So yeah, I keep finding random little holes in like my sleeves and stuff from the beginning, and I think it's just a part of having a puppy, and I promise it does end. It can feel very never ending, but it does end. Same with potty training. Fino was potty trained, probably I'd say fully potty trained, I'd say after about 2 months. So since April, he's been fully potty trained. However, as I said with the regressing, we were at my friend's house the other day. He hasn't weed inside since the beginning of April, maybe, for a very, very long time. And he was all excited. We were in her apartment, and then he just did a wee on the floor. So it can happen. I think he was just like so excited with like 5 screaming girls. But yeah, things like that can happen. It's just kind of part of their development, I think. But yeah, I was so happy with him. Shall I get him? He's asleep right now. Let me get him. I'll show you him, because he's just changed so much since the beginning when I first did my puppy videos. Hello. Good boy. Hi. Here he is. Hi, puppy. Hello. I just can't believe how fast he's grown. In the space of 3 months, he's changed so much, haven't you, Bubs? Yeah, he has. You get comfortable. Best thing we ever did, honestly. Best thing ever. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. It's kind of been a bit of a mishmash vlog, but I just realised when I was looking through my videos I haven't done any like dog content, and I know a few of you guys are here just for the dog content, so hopefully you found this a little bit useful if you're getting a puppy and you're just kind of collecting as much information as you can. But if you like this video, please hit the red subscribe button down below. My video next week will be from Whistler. I'm going to be vlogging our trip and we're going to be staying in a hotel for the first time with Fino actually, and so I'm really interested to see what that will be like. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next vlog next week. Bye!